We've got breaking news out of college football where UCLA has informed its quarterback room that it plans to add former Tennessee quarterback Nico Iamaleava as a transfer. That's the latest from our Matt Zenitz. Iamaleava entered the transfer portal last week after an NIL dispute with the Vols. California native famously signed an $8 million deal with UT back in 23. The former Tennessee signal caller, now the top-ranked player in the portal, according to 24/7 Sports. Iamaleava threw for 19 touchdowns and 5 interceptions last season as the Vols starting quarterback. Let's bring in our Brandon Marcello to talk about this Matt Zenitz report here. So, Brandon, what are your thoughts? What's your reaction to hearing that Nico Iamaleava could be heading back west?
Yeah, this has been in the works for several days. They finally looks like they'll be able to come to terms on all this. And again, the expectation is they're going to end up being the quarterback there, with the coaches telling the quarterback's room today. What's going to be really interesting to me is what UCLA's quarterback's room looks like just in the next few days. The portal is still open here in the spring window. And remember, UCLA had entered the portal back in December to get a quarterback who they thought was going to be their starter, Appalachian State's Joey Aguilar. So what's he going to do? That's going to be something to watch. But UCLA has been able to drag 2 quarterbacks out of this portal here this past few months, and they did so by getting guys that were California natives. Nico Iamaleava returning home to California, and also Joey Aguilar going back home to California. But Joey, who was expected to be the starter now, not going to be the starter most likely. Otherwise, why would you pay Nico some money to come out there? So interesting thing to watch here about what's going to happen with those quarterbacks.
Yeah, and you mentioned the terms. We still don't know that yet. I'm a West Coast guy. UCLA's never been linked to having splurge funds and having that type of NIL money, but it'll be interesting to see. I want to ask you, Brandon, about this whole Nico situation, about what it means for college football more macro, because everyone looks at what he did and what Tennessee and Josh Heupel did as sort of a case study of what you're going to do with NIL. Are we learning anything here in terms of Nico going to UCLA, potentially?
Well, I think in the immediate aftermath of all this was the just outpouring of support on Tennessee's side from especially coaches in the industry. You had Miami's Mario Cristobal come out and say that if you're going to play holdout, you might as well play get out if you're considering Miami, even if you are the best player in the country. And I think a lot of coaches echo that. But again, this is all about leverage and whether you are desperate enough to keep a quarterback on campus. I think what made Tennessee's situation so interesting and probably unique in this situation is that unlike, I would say, any quarterback out there, Tennessee had to fight against the NCAA to get Nico there. Remember, that $8 million deal was under scrutiny by the NCAA. They launched an investigation. Then Tennessee's attorney general filed a lawsuit against the NCAA and got an injunction. They also changed some state laws there in the state of Tennessee to help with state taxes, with NIL and all that stuff. You don't see a lot of states doing and going that far to help out a player that they really want. So I think Tennessee just hit the breaking point. Like, are you really being shopped around to places like Oregon without us knowing after being here just 1 year, after everything we did for you? Yeah, go ahead and hit the road.
Brandon Marcello with the very latest here on CBS Sports HQ. Brandon, certainly appreciate it. Check out 24/7 Sports. Well, they have wall-to-wall team coverage. Of course, recruiting updates. We're in the portal now, and big stories like Nico Iamaleava at the forefront of that. Make sure to check out 24/7 Sports today.